The primary function of the nervous system is to communicate information. It works kind of like this diagram where we sense information. We sense our environment, we see our surroundings. We also sense our internal environment, things like our body temperature, our blood pressure, and all of this information that we sense, whether it's from outside of our body or inside of our body, gets input into a central area called the central nervous system. The central nervous system is made up of the brain and the spinal cord, and what the brain and the spinal cord will do is prioritize all of this incoming sensory information and decide what to take action on. Any motor command that leaves the central nervous system will go out to possibly skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, the heart, glands, what's known as an effector, to bring about a response. And so this is the basic direction of information flow, that there's sensory information that comes into the brain and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord is going to integrate that information, put it together, prioritize it, decide what to pay attention to, and then there's motor information that carries commands out to the body. So let's take a look at the organization of the nervous system first in a more anatomic way, and then we'll look at a flow chart. And so we saw that all of the information that we're sensing is getting shuttled into the brain and spinal cord, which I'm outlining here. So the brain and spinal cord make up the central nervous system, and all of these other nerves that we see in yellow make up what's called the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is the part of the nervous system that is both bringing sensory information in and carrying the motor information out. So let's look at the organization of the nervous system in a different way. What we're saying is that there is a sensory division, also known as an afferent division, that will bring information into the central nervous system. Central nervous system, we said, is going to process that information, decide what to pay attention to, and then send directions out to the body through the motor division, also known as the efferent division. So the brain and the spinal cord, we know, make up the central nervous system. And so I put a line separating that from the sensory and the motor divisions make up what's called the peripheral nervous system. And the peripheral nervous system has a few divisions. As far as the sensory division goes, it's just plain the sensory division, bringing sensory information in. But as far as the motor division goes, the motor division is subcategorized. Let me show you. We can think of the motor division or the efferent division as having two different types of actions. Either it's innervating skeletal muscle, which is voluntary. The neuromuscular junction is part of the somatic division, so the somatic division is voluntary. But the motor division is also going to send commands to smooth muscle, the heart, glands, things that are involuntary, and that's what's known as the autonomic division. The autonomic division is subdivided into two parts. The autonomic division is made up of the sympathetic division and the parasympathetic division. The way that the autonomic nervous system works, or this autonomic division, is that the sympathetic and the parasympathetic divisions innervate the same structures but have opposite effects. So in other words, one will speed it up and the other will slow it down. That's just a general observation. There are exceptions to that, but this is the basic organization of the nervous system.